And welcome back to Scales of Fate.
Oh yeah!
Is that us?
That's us.
That's us. We're the Scales of Fate. Hello. We are here to live stream some D&D for your viewing and listening pleasure. I'm gonna admit this is a sleepy day, a little lethargic here. How's everybody feeling today?
We are good.
Cold?
Rain.
Do you want my jacket? I have this jacket right here.
I mean, I'm fine in here,
when
but
you need it.
It is 40 degrees outside.
I love that.
39.
I love
Just
that.
updated.
Quick shout out to our sponsors. Thank you so much to D20 Tavern for being an awesome local place to play D&D. I'm also a DM for hire up there if you're ever looking for a new adventure. Thank you Hoppenstein, a brewery, for making superb beers. What was the Scorpion? What was the last one?
Yeah.
Curse of the Seven Scorpions.
It's a great movie. The spicy mango.
Yeah, I had that at a bar the other day because I was like, I gotta support my boy.
There you go.
It did not disappoint.
I love that one.
Thank you so much to SL Dooley for your amazing literature. No one here won the book giveaway, unfortunately. Someone else did. But her third installment releases pretty dang soon, right?
In December.
In December.
There's going to be a big launch party for it in Fort Worth, Texas. It's
Now,
a grand time.
is this a spoiler, or can I ask, is this the final installment in her Portal Slayer series?
Read it to find out.
I don't even think she knows.
Maybe?
It is a trilogy. So
Okay.
the main story is coming to a sort of conclusion of sorts. But even these first two books that have already been published, and of course the third, have spin-off short stories. There's 6 of them that are available through her website. If you join her newsletter, you get them for free. So definitely delve into Torn Parchment and S.L. Dooley's works. There's a lot to dig into there. There is a small short story coming out called The Summertime Circus.
I got to proofread and read it ahead of time. It was really good.
Very visually stimulating for a book. It's really cool. So definitely go check out S.L. Dooley.
Love that. Thank you, Sunspell Dice, for your beautiful, amazing custom dice that you have made for all of us.
Hasn't killed me yet.
Hasn't killed you yet, yeah.
I couldn't say the same. But that's
Did you
great.
use Sunspell Dice at that time?
Was it Sunspell?
So it was great.
Sunspell dice usually won't kill you.
It's a dice.
It's a dice. It's a dice guy. Oh, man. Thank you, Michael Ghelfi, for your beautiful music. And with all of those introductions, I will go into a brief recap of what has happened in the last episode of Scales of Fate.
Crinkles.
That was the end of the last episode. So let's start with the beginning, where most good stories start, unless you're Lucas.
Also the Crinkles.
Or anyone, really. Long story short, you guys had treated with the forest wild and weird folk, the supposed servants of Ixgar, the green dragon that has reign and control over this pass between the forest Knell and the Shades Valley Desert. Upon meeting with Ixgar, there was a lot of deliberation on tribute to passage, ultimately which failed, inciting a combat. You guys did absolutely amazing in that combat. The draconic cry from Thauner paired with everybody having advantage and just beating the holy crap out of this dragon forced him to retreat into his den, where he consumed a bunch of health potions, came back, talked a bunch of smack, and could not back it up.
Took a fastball special to the face.
Fastball special with a killing blow of some psychic energy from our boy Thauner here. You guys did some looting, found a chest, a sword, a few other baubles, a tunnel that you didn't want to go down.
Oh, you're right. I did not. I shouldn't have gone down. I did. And paintings.
And also Roscoe made a beautiful painting.
Well, and I have a stack of paintings.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the stack of paintings that
almost
exploded
killed
with
my guy.
poison energy. Yeah,
And the sword is totally fine.
the sword is totally fine. Don't
Yeah,
worry
he-
about
he-
the sword.
He whispered something in my ear at the end.
Awesome.
Nothing
The
wrong.
sword or the DM?
The DS.
Oh, okay.
The sword,
Double checking.
the DM.
No.
The sword whisper to you.
How sweet were the nothings that they whispered?
Guess we'll find out.
Next time. This time.
This time on Scales of Fate,
Hopefully.
you guys had taken your hard-earned winnings, headed back to your caravan in the forest pass of the Knell, and upon coming back to your caravan, you found a group of adventurers, 8 in number that you can see, basically all there, corralling your horses, investigating your wagon, and upon engaging with them, they had essentially said, "Yeah, we're hired by the Crinkles. We're here for the race. Looks like y'all ain't finishing it."
I told you guys there was a race.
Maybe it started that way, maybe it became that way through actions of your own.
Enough people believe in a race exists.
And we find ourselves face to face with said folk, with Roscoe, for unknown reasons, sprinting at this group of people.
It's a sprint of diplomacy, right?
Yeah. Sprint of.
You dropped this.
He's known for his critical thinking and
You're running at them?
danger awareness.
No, I'm sprinting at them.
As you're sprinting at them, you see a tall-ish human wearing kind of pale blue robish guards clock you running and begin sprinting at you with the full same trajectory. You guys are just sprinting at each other.
Yeah.
Parlay.
Message to Roscoe. Roscoe, we don't have time for this. We have to get out of this forest.
That's why I'm going for the wagons.
We need our stuff back.
Aren't they on the wagons?
There's 2 of them that one of them is kind of poking their head out from the front flap of the wagon. You can see another one kind of rustling in from the window that was carved out to make a painting in this wagon.
How far away are we?
Not far. You're at farthest 30 feet away from the farthest person.
I'm gonna telepathically talk to Beanie and say, "Come, I need you."
That's the horse.
Okay, that's the part that I was missing.
Pinto beanie.
Yes, Pinto Beanie. Okay, you say that and you look over and there is a tall, furbolg man, about 8 foot in stature, just kind of like slathered in mud and covered in woad and fauna. And you say that, and Beanie kind of like pulls at the reins from him, and he looks at the horse and like looks over at you and like looks over at the horse and just kind of like strokes his muzzle a little bit, and Beanie calms down.
I yell to the man, "Unhand my property."
Damn. Property?
Sorry, I didn't think any living being was property of another.
We're partners, but he's mine.
He don't belong to you.
I tell Beanie, kick him.
You say that, and as you're saying that, he's like pulling out something out of his vest. There's a little sugar cube in it, and Beanie just like starts eating the sugar cube.
Is there any of them in particular that looks like they're kind of calling the shots? I'm looking for a leader of the group.
Green tiefling. It's got spiraled horns that kind of curl back behind his head. He was the one that was addressing you guys in the first place.
Right.
And as you're looking at him, he's keeping an eye on you, but his head is leaned over to the side, and you look over in that direction, and there's a small elven woman, maybe half elf, long black hair, like her eyes are kind of obscured, and she's got a bow slung about her back, walks up to him and starts whispering something to him.
Turn person. On the tiefling.
On the tiefling? Okay. What's your DC?
16.
19 beats that. And as you kind of wave in the air charm person, he looks over, senses that he almost nearly lost that spell, looks back over to you and says, all right, seems like we've gotten off on the wrong foot. This was supposed to be a race. Obviously, it started off with bad taste in the mouth. He sees Roscoe. At this point, Roscoe, I don't know if you've stopped your halt. What are you doing here?
I mean, I'm not going to just clock this wizard dude, but I'll skid to a halt right in front of him.
The dude that was wearing the robes skids to a halt in front of you and positions his stature exactly like a martial artist right in front of you. Yeah, yeah, some Street Fighter shit.
I walk up to
Round one.
the
I kinda give him a
guy
ground kick,
with
ground
the
kick.
sugar cube, and I go, I don't think you understand. I'm taking my horse and try to intimidate him.
Well, let's just take a step back for a second. I don't think this race started off with a bad taste in the mouth, but we've just returned back to our equipment and found you trying to steal it. That's not a race, is it? Can we return back to what was meant to be a race of equipment? The Crinkles versus the Bandersnatch.
You're talking to the leader still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The one that said it seems this started with a bad taste in the mouth.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Checks out.
Disadvantage.
Is that on my hand?
While
It is.
she's doing that, how many people are in the wagon that's...
Two.
Okay.
It's really hard. Oh, that's a 20. That's a 9, which is a 10, which is a 21.
21. Well, as I see it, a race indeed does need an opposing party. Us, the Hexers, have been hired to thwart you all in the race at whatever cost, considering the cost that you have made upon the Crinkles' tack.
So the Crinkles can't even run their own race. They had to pull you guys in.
That seems cheap to me.
The Bandersnatch pulled you in, as far as we're concerned.
And we're racing. You're not.
Listen, as he gets cut off, and it's strange. He's got a very strong demeanor about him. But the half-elven woman to his left kind of grabs his elbow and pulls it, and pulls his ear down to him. And you hear, it's still a whisper, but a louder, almost stage whisper. And he pulls back a little bit and he says, first of all, does anyone here speak Infernal?
I could. I'm just kidding.
Do you speak Infernal?
No.
No.
You guys hear...
Skip that class in school.
You guys hear what sounds like a
Hell noises.
choppy, kind of guttural sound emit through the air as he rings out a voice. The Furbolg, looking at Leon in this circumstance, lets go of all of the reins and begins cutting all of the saddles off the horses. And the people in the wagon hop out, and another one basically casts this force spell and breaks off one of the wheels on the wagons.
That's going above. I didn't break any wheels.
Listen, you guys are here for a race, yeah?
Yep.
Maybe.
I'll do you one kind thing as we make our merry way. We Hexers about to win this race. You lot are getting hunted and tracked by a dragon. Have fun with that. And he turns around, he's wearing this kind of patched together cloak, hops up on his own horse. The woman with the bow hops on a horse up next to him. And the rest of them, silently regarding you guys but saying nothing, begin to get on their own horses and riding off.
I didn't break any wheels.
You will die. You will all die one day.
There will be murder.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
That was a
I'm gonna fuck your wheels up.
not well. Okay.
not where
First
the
two were not a threat.
sentence
The third was
Blatant
threat-like.
murder.
What? How is there?
It's a pretty weak threat.
We all will die.
You will die one day is a statement.
Do they have a wagon?
They don't have a wagon. They just have horses. And they are now riding to the northeast.
Do we just let them go?
I don't care what they do. I don't care what they do.
I
We
don't
need to get out of this forest.
It's an
You
imaginary
can't even
race.
fix our wagon. Let's just jump
Yes.
on a
There's
horse's
one of the-
bareback and go.
one of the
That's what I'm saying.
horses
Abandon the
within 30
wagon
I
and
can
get out of
absolutely
here.
fix our wagon.
From
Fast.
you?
Probably pretty quickly. It's
We'll
one wheel.
move
that's knocked
slower
off.
with it.
The last
holds all
horse
of our
that
stuff.
would have been
What stuff?
in the back of the line
Barrels
belonged
of
to the martial artists in robes.
You're gonna leave all of
He
your
was the
outfit?
last one to leave
beat
the
the
circle
crinkles?
and then hop up on his own horse.
Let's wait.
Okay. I want to cut his saddle while he's on it.
How are you going to do that?
By manifesting my echo
Okay.
and cutting it.
Okay, and you're specifically trying to cut the saddle that he's riding on? Okay.
The girth.
Go ahead and roll that attack with disadvantage.
Okay. It's in that one.
Okay. The shadow manifests, and as it goes to swing, you see like blonde hair, blue eye turns, looks, sees the shadow, and just strikes right behind him, and the shadow dissipates. They ride off.
I call Beanie, or I get up on Beanie. I go, your actions cut deep. This is telepathically.
You hear in response, "Here's some good snacks, man. Like,
You don't know, but where I come from, I am known as Lord of the Sweet Berries.
I mean, that's cool and everything. Like, mostly I'm down for the ride, and like that combat thing that I got your friend in on was super cool. But
I'm
like,
gonna just try and move.
that guy
past
was
this.
real persuasive, you know?
I'll try not to remember.
Like, honestly, he had a softer hand than you did, man. Like, you're a badass.
Just stop.
No, I have
Don't
to
say
tell you,
anymore.
this is important. I have to tell you this, man. I gotta be honest with my friends.
The truth hurts.
You're a badass, but that guy, like, he got me, you know?
We just see Leon.
Let's just go.
Sounds like there were drugs in this sugar cube, man. Your badass horse is now a hippie.
Let's just go.
All right, man. I can leave. I can leave my barrels of rum.
All of them. Full.
Yeah, to catch the crinkles.
Not the rum.
I could give fixing the wheel a whirl.
We still won't catch them.
We'll be slowed by a wagon.
You just kind of see Stack twirling through the air. Wasn't the race fake in the first place?
Yeah, like, do we
How much
No.
longer is stack floating?
He's got like 5 minutes left on it.
do we actually care? There is no race. We don't care.
We need to get out of this forest.
What do you guys mean? There's no race.
There's no race,
They're
but we're
literally
running.
racing us.
Will the wagon actually slow us down?
The wagon, an entire wheel has been broken off its axle.
But if the wagon were in perfect condition, would we be faster on just horseback?
The answer would be no. The wagon would be like essentially carrying all your stuff. Horseback would be fastest. Wagon would catch up later.
But we don't have enough horses for everyone. The wagon was also for people.
How long do you think it would take you to fix it?
How long do I think it would take me to fix this? I asked the air.
On my mind. my soul.
So, do you have the mending spell?
That
That'd
looks
come
like
in
a
handy
no.
right now, wouldn't it?
Sure don't.
You're a fixer.
I am a fixer. I should probably take minutes. Next level, baby. Next level.
So you don't have mending.
I don't have mending.
Okay. How long it would take to fix the wagon with the proper equipment?
I do have the proper equipment.
The proper equipment also being a winch that could pick up the wagon so it's not
got
resting
Stack
on
and
its
this guy.
axles.
We have,
This guy.
Okay, okay.
I got 3
I
wheels.
will say between these two gentlemen, but not having the mending spell, you would have to create an entirely new axle that you would then affix the wheels to. So you would need to chop down a tree, refine it to the right size. It would take you at least another 12 hours,
I
at
can
least.
brew more rum. Let's get him.
So who
How many horses are
who
there?
can run as fast as a horse? 4.
4.
So
Wait, no, because we can use the horses that were on the front of the wagon. That gives us more horses.
I think we had 4 altogether, right?
4 horses total.
Well, no, because then there was people were riding 4 horses, but there also was horses pulling
2 of the
wagon.
horses that were being ridden were already connected to the wagon. 2 people were pulling the
Yep.
wagon.
There was only 2
we
people
had-
riding horses.
We had 1 extra horse.
Oh yeah.
We have
so
5 horses.
5 horses. Okay.
Okay, wait, then we're golden because we
Because
can
we're
share.
little.
We can share a horse.
Okay.
That's so hot.
Okay. So
Stack.
Stack.
Damn it.
So maybe Roscoe shares with maybe Salvo.
And then I share with Stack.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and tell
Wait,
you.
Stack's flying.
I'll go ahead and tell you guys right now.
Minute.
Stack is not going to comfortably sit on a horse, especially not with a saddle.
How did Thea get here?
Actually, you look around and you haven't seen Thea since this entire altercation.
Bitch.
And right as you kind of be like, wait, how did Thea get here? Like speaking out loud to the air, materializes in front of you.
After you say that.
Yeah, no, I don't know how that was gonna go, so I just went invisible. I more or less was teleported here by an ally back in the city and walked my merry way up the trail. So I don't have a horse.
We must.
Better get walking back your merry way then.
I'm sorry?
Are there any giant elk that happen to be sprinting by? Or like a moose.
Give
Moose
me
would
a
be really
give me a
awesome.
perception check.
Moose in.
Can I make a perception check as
Pretty
well?
much moves
Go ahead.
in the woods.
Where the woods in.
It's an 18 for moose.
With an 18, 0 moose, many squirrels, birds, and lizards are. You're looking around, especially Roscoe, having seen this. They're all staring at you.
What size lizard?
A lot of things would have
Just little
happened if I
babies,
was a lizard.
little baby boys
And girls.
and girls.
That's a cantrip.
Can we use a rope and tie Stack to a horse?
He's like a 80-pound rock.
What if I beast sensed for 100 squirrels to carry Stack?
I love it. Be like a sled, like that dude from Lord of the Rings with the rabbits.
Thea just kind of walks over to Jack, who's been quiet. So this is what you've been dealing with?
Yeah, that about sums it up. I'm just waiting for them to make the
is the
decision.
axle shattered completely?
Because it was just
Yeah,
a
it was
wheel.
shattered by force magic. Yes. To be fair, it was only one side of it that was shattered. Mending could fix it.
We must make haste to the desert. Let's decide.
What'd you
if
get
some
on
of
your
us-
perception check, Leon?
Oh, I got a 6, a natural 6.
Okay. With that natural 6, especially with what you had just said, we have to make it to the other side. Leon, you just feel compelled that you need to get the fuck out of the forest. You feel compelled to go to the desert.
I'll just take the horses we got. And if you want, I'll speed ahead and murder one of them and take their horse.
Yeah. We could
I
always.
guess for the sake of traveling fast enough, we might need to catch them.
You guys have 5 horses with no saddles.
Yep.
Comfort's not really an issue for me.
I barebacked a lizard.
What if some of us run ahead and try and get one of their horses or something, and then some stay and fix? And then I guess if you get ambushed.
I have an echo that can take one of the horses. Ride it back with me.
Everybody give me a perception check.
Oh, I got a 6 again.
15.
17.
Manufactured 20.
16.
Fabricated 20.
14.
14, 15, 16. You guys hear a fluctuation of air.
Oh, we can ride the dragon to beat the
With
crinkles.
20, you, without any shadow of a doubt, that is a pair of wings riding quickly on the wind to the east.
Is that the direction the crinkles went?
No.
No.
Oh, damn.
No, it's coming for us.
Or the hexers, rather.
Well, and the desert's to the northeast, yeah?
Yep.
We're like smack dab in the middle of this forest.
Yep.
So the only problem with not going right now is that Stack is going to have a hard time staying on top of a horse.
And Thea, we don't have enough horses. We can't.
We didn't bring Thea. She can deal with
Well,
herself.
someone's just
He's
gonna
still
have to
worried
catch
about
her.
that.
He's still
I
got
mean-
like 50 minutes of flying.
If you're wanting to catch up to them and steal
He's at
horses,
5.
like, you can do that and I'll hang out with Stack or something.
All right, so you're back. Okay. This way? Going that way? Yeah, okay. I start heading that way.
We're leaving Stack.
She just said.
Do we know why
He's
that's a
got
problem?
He's got my drugs in him.
And
Yes, his drugs are in them.
yes, okay. And what's coming for
Not
us?
actually a drug user.
Yeah, she gets it.
And what's coming for us?
Wings,
Of a green dragon.
allegedly.
We're getting the transport out of here.
They're going.
What we're saying
From
is
the
Stack
we
needs
can't
to be
leave
on a
Stack.
horse.
Coming from the
Regardless, he
east,
needs
you
to get
hear
out of
that
this
sound.
forest more than anybody else in this group.
Can
I'm more
I,
than willing to sit around and talk about it some more, so by
can I
all
try
means.
and telepathically
I'm just
connect
smoking this
to-
I'll
cigar.
stay
What are you
with
doing?
Thea.
Can I try and talk to the thing flying to me? Towards me?
What's the range on your telepathic
30
speech?
feet?
You cannot.
What if we make a sled for Stack to be dragged behind a horse?
Or me and Thea. I mean, I think of anyone, Stack needs to be on a horse.
Yeah.
Needs to get out of this, like on.
But that's the problem. Is he said he won't
Pinto.
hold on.
Huh?
You can't hold on to the horse.
I have a watch for time.
What if
Start making
me
a,
and
a sled.
Shovel Fist hold Stack nub and nub
Or we could at least
on
I
two
got it.
horses?
I got it. I'm gonna cut the wagon in half
Okay.
and give us basically a chariot.
How are you cutting the wagon in half?
Any of my tools, woodcarver's tools, smith's tools,
Smashing.
a sword. I can cut it basically the front half, so we have basically an open back chariot that's attached to the horses.
Because I like this idea, give me an intelligence check.
Who else is smart? Can someone help him?
Just an intelligence
Did
check.
we just get like a
smart no more.
13-foot sword?
Very nice roll. 24.
Big sword.
So with the 24, you would know that the more or less like the canvas part of this entire wagon easily cut down.
Sure, yeah.
Trying to rip it in half, all you need is to saw one side of it. So more or less, you need enough brute force in combination with your tools to make this action happen. You estimate less than 10 minutes to make it happen.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can turn this into a ghetto chariot in less than 10 minutes. Won't hold a lot of gear, but at least can hold a couple people.
Okay. Do it. In those 10 minutes, can I try and fix some saddles? They just have a strap cut, right?
We must make haste to the desert. I jump
I
on
think three
Beanie.
horses. I think 3 horses need to leave now.
All right, let me get
The other two.
let me get an hourglass real quick.
And the other two that are pulling the chariot will stay behind and hope.
Because the chariot could, in theory, hold about 4 people. 2 people in the back of the chariot,
Okay.
2 people sitting on the top of the chariot.
If we put Stack on Pinto with you,
He can't hold on to the horse. It's the whole problem.
okay,
It's to be
someone
So-
needs to hold on to him.
So do you begin this process?
I create fixed yokes for the front of it to help with the cantilever on the weight, too, which would just be 2 sticks that attach to the horses.
Give me a tinkering check.
I jump on a horse with someone to go chase a crinkle and jump onto their horse.
That,
All right, I'm with Roscoe.
Okay.
If we put Stack on the front of your horse and you sit behind,
Intelligence
and
plus
you ride
proficiency.
I'll take
the 2 of you to safety.
If you put so that Stack's like this.
Like you're holding onto the horse
21.
with Stack
spoon.
22.
Cradled.
I will attempt and roll for it if DM allows.
What's the situation?
If I straddle Stack with him on the horse.
Like Stack's here, so he's holding
On
him onto the
Pinto.
horse.
It's too much weight for a horse.
The weight, Stack is over,
400, right?
no, he's over 300. He's very heavy.
So I'm saying Stack's gonna have to wait 10 minutes.
He could barely ride a really big horse by himself, much
Yes.
less a giant barbarian.
Should we take the drugs out of Stack?
No. The other person didn't seem to care that they had drugs. No. That might be the thing that keeps
I
it
feel
hidden.
like that would have been very apparent.
Yeah.
If he
So
knew.
it needs to. I guess it stays.
I don't think this is the kind of thing that attracts
I think
that
a
kind
lot of warriors should stay
drug
with
user.
Stack just in case.
Yeah, I'm staying with Stack.
But me and this guy are gonna try and catch up. Maybe there's one straggling behind.
Make haste, Roscoe. Hop on.
Speedy boys, go chase it down, because I'm going to fix this as fast as possible, and I'm doing that.
Can I help?
I'll cut through the canvas while you cut through the rest of it.
I think you can just take the canvas off. Shit, that's
More or less in this circumstance, with Salvo's role and your help, you guys get this wagon cut in half into the shape of a chariot in 8 minutes. This current timer will still stand for reasons.
And I put the two sticks on the side so that it's attached to the horses to keep it balanced, so that it doesn't flip up or down.
Yep. Okay.
Like a standard two
The two of you are riding out.
cart.
What are you two doing here?
I was going to say, Stack, let's start going to the desert and they'll catch up with the chariot.
Too heavy, we can't take steps.
No, Stack just starts walking towards the direction and I'm on my horse.
He's 15 speed?
Yeah.
20.
It's like,
Oh, 20 speed.
He can dash for 40.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Do you guys got this wagon thing?
Are you handy? Go.
with
You have gun.
people.
Use gun. Use gun.
Yeah, okay. Jack, be nimble. Jack,
start
be
jotting.
quick.
God dang
Jack,
it.
hop on a horse.
Use your boomstick.
I rolled a 15, 15 on jumping on my horse. I don't know if that matters, if it's bareback.
You're chill.
Now.
Beanie's about it. Beanie wants to get on the ride. All right, so here's what I'm seeing. We have two riding one horse, one following. Roscoe and Hammerfist are riding one horse, riding out. JJ is following after. Leon is on another horse, following out.
That's how many horses can go.
3 horses are gone, 2 attached to this makeshift chariot. Stack is still back with the chariot and Thea. Now, Thea and Stack can weight-wise barely fit on this chariot appropriately. And this chariot actually gains speed. Not as fast as a horse, but it can gain speed from here. This is the plan of action. Correct?
Yeah, and then they're each gonna ride one of the horses.
Okay. So, with that being said, as you guys head out into this trail, 3 horses surging ahead, and a makeshift chariot following in suit. The sound of wings still permeates the air. You don't see a creature, but it is getting louder.
I get my grappling hook ready.
Okay, preparing your grappling hook. You guys are now in a skill challenge. I will tell you this. You need 4 successes before 2 fails. If you get 2 fails, some bad things will happen. So, we will also consider these being 2 separate parts. People on horses, you're group A. So that makes Hammerfist, Roscoe, Leon, and JJ. Group Chariot, that is Thauner, Salvo, Thea, and Stack. The both of you need to pass this skill challenge. Are you ready?
Yes.
Real quick, isn't Hammerfist and Roscoe going towards a different direction, or are they on
You
the
are all
same
going
road?
the same direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all headed towards the desert. They're following the hex whatevers, but
The Hexers.
sure.
You have to dodge rattlesnakes.
But they're also heading towards the desert. So
Got it. If that's the case, then I'm definitely charging. Full charge.
Okay.
I want to be first.
All right, so Team A will be horse. Team A will be chariot. Team A, Leon, give me an athletics check.
19.
Okay. Leon with Roscoe on the horse surges. You guys are on separate horses?
I'm on Hammerfist's horse.
Okay, got it. Leon catches up to you and Hammerfist and surges past you on Bean. No saddle. Here's the thing about not having a saddle. DCs for failure will be higher. 19 passes. So as you surge forward, it is literally like your entire body leaning forward, like almost vertically or horizontally, like jumping up and down as you ride forward, like holding on to the hair of this horse. He just charges forward. As this horse continues on, you see a spindling, winding path. It's almost as if the growth is starting to encroach on this pathway itself and get denser and denser. But in the very last second, you see a slowed down figure on a horse in blue robes, head turned, look at you, and start riding forward, and you lose sight of them.
I try and follow that person.
All right, Team B, what are you doing here? So that was one success for Team A.
We're on the move now.
Yep.
Perception?
I have an idea, but I need to ask for clarification on how you rule skill challenges. I'm a spellcaster and a spell user. If I were to use something like Unseen Servant, that is an instant spell, would I be able to roll a skill using that spell?
How I rule spellcasting in skill challenges is that they still ultimately need to tie back to a skill, and burning the spell slot will essentially, as long as it makes sense coherently, will give you advantage on it.
Okay. I have an idea. That is a guaranteed success. So we're collectively making as group
You and
B?
I.
Yeah.
Groupie, Stack and Thea are with you guys.
well,
Yeah, they
okay,
have
so-
voices.
But
Yeah, I have a guaranteed success.
So they need 4 and we need 4, or is it?
yes. Group A and
okay.
Group B need 4.
And then I have just good rolls on like perception, history, arcana, if those any of those could help.
My idea was to send my unseen servant into the woods and like be like, go hide the treasure, as a deception of what we have as a target to mislead the entity that's chasing us.
The gold?
Whatever. The treasure, being vague enough, but
I would assume that the paintings and the treasure chest is on the chariot.
Yeah.
I would assume that.
And the rum.
There's roll a d4 minus 2.
-1.
There's all of the rum got left behind.
Sorry, bud. It was more for people and the smaller things.
Alright, I have a bruise kit.
It's alright. It's fine.
Didn't like that batch anyway.
So what's the plan?
does that make sense?
Your instant win?
I mean, rolling deception.
Yeah, well, is it actually hiding anything?
No.
Oh, then yes.
Hence deception.
Gotcha.
Lying.
Gotcha.
Rolling for lie.
Gotcha. I thought you were literally taking some treasure
No.
with your unseen
Because then it
servant.
would be persuasion, which also would work, but I would. Yeah.
Sure, go for it. I love that.
Keeping treasure is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to, loud enough that the eyes watching us Like, I don't know, these sketchy squirrels might hear.
Okay.
Sketchy squirrels. Casting Unseen Servant and saying, go, hide it somewhere we can find it later. And sending, but like mentally commanding my Unseen Servant to be like noisy as hell going into the forest in the opposite direction.
Okay.
I give it an empty bag with some trash in it.
And it's just like.
Yeah.
I love this. Beautiful idea. Go ahead and give me a deception with advantage.
Also, when you said paintings on the chariot, the random paintings, not my special painting.
Your special painting is with you. You made it. You would keep it.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
A 31.
Don't forget about that
And
inspo.
inspiration for me.
Yes, and inspiration.
That's a 31 for deception.
You hear. So obviously, so in this circumstance, this is a skill challenge. Nat 20 is going to count for 2 passes for Team B. You hear.
We're not racing them.
You want a dragon.
And you see a arc of green magical energy erupt into the side of the forest, and you know that your unseen servant is
He did.
he gone. He gone.
Oh, our bag of trash.
You still hear the, but it's starting to fade as the chariot continues forward, and you look up and you can barely see over the tops of the canopies that are about 60 foot up, wings just kind of in a circle, looking, searching.
Oh no, that cave had all of our treasure, every last bit of it.
All right, let's go back to Team A.
Hauling ass in the chariot's like bouncing left and right.
I would like to
Strapped everything down.
if I can take point on this, because athletics is just about the only thing I'm good at. But would you allow me to do intimidation using strength as a modifier?
Yeah,
And I am proficient in intimidation.
I personally, as a DM, allow strength to be the modifier of intimidation, but it depends on the subtext. So what exactly are you doing?
Trying to very intimidatingly and menacingly catch up to that guy who, like, you know, was looking back and trying to, I'm gonna catch up to him.
I understand where your head's at. Unfortunately, like, the horse is your vehicle.
And I'm on that vehicle.
Yes. So unless you're intimidating the horse, you're not going to intimidate a guy that you lose eyesight with. And also, it was Leon that had seen it, not you and Roscoe.
Okay. I thought
Leon surged up ahead of all of you,
got you.
saw the tail end of this person, and then you guys are following behind.
Well,
Okay.
Then I can also take this one then, if you want to save that good.
I mean, because we can't use athletics anymore. So,
I can use acrobatics
okay.
to try and help the horse go faster.
Okay.
And somebody can't roll a 1.
So, please describe your idea or creativity of using acrobatics to help this horse move faster.
So I'm sitting like behind him, and I'm kind of like, the hips are right there, and the horse is struggling, trying to keep me on. So I kind of stand up and kind of surf on the back of it, holding onto his back, and get my legs out of the way of the back legs of the horse, so the horse can move better.
Okay, and then I'll say that like you kind of lean forward, maybe making it more aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
You're like the windbreak behind him.
23.
Sexy.
Okay, 23 is a pass. That is 2 passes for Team A, 2 passes for Team B. Roscoe just kind of like lumbers up to your shoulders, like holds on, pushes you down a little bit and pushes you a little bit forward. You guys now almost mirror Leon and his stature of riding on this horse, and this horse seems to feel like the center of balance change and the aerodynamics change, and it picks up speed, almost catching up with Leon. You guys are about within 10-foot range of each other.
I look back and I'm like, aha!
Or Naruto.
All right, okay.
You're the competitor.
So, back to Team B at the chariot. What are you guys up to here?
I try to look ahead to see the most covered route we can do that still heads in the direction we're going for to give us the most cover from the sky.
Perfect. Give me a perception check.
Big money, no whammies. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You see a deer run kind of offshoot in line with a stream that's flowing towards the east. And you see that underneath this deer run, it's still plenty enough clear path to get this chariot into and through, albeit bumpy.
Sure. We've accepted the bump.
Yes, albeit bumpy. Like the path itself was like kind of bumpy, especially at the speed. Going into here, there's going to be like a lot of rocking back and forth. Situationally here, this is a success. You are covered from the skylines. Your next roll for Team B will be at disadvantage because of the bumpiness.
Can they choose not to do that?
They only need one more success, though.
I guess that's true.
Yep. All right, back to Team A.
Do we need to cycle persons, or
You can't use the same skill twice.
Can't use the same skill, also can't use the same person. So Team A needs to be Spencer or Brian here.
Do you have anything I can try something?
I'm basically only good at athletics. I'm okay at
So yes, you.
Yeah. Okay. So, is this thing witnessable, seeable, or not quite yet? From
Roll a flat d20 for me.
it's a 4.
You actually have caught up to the point where you. So first of all, you haven't heard or seen what Team B has seen. You guys are surging forward, but you have caught up to a point where once again that person in robes has slowed down and waited to see if you guys are following. And in this like frozen moment, you two lock eyes from like 500 feet away.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant the flying thing that's chasing us.
You have zero perception of that.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case,
What you got, buddy?
well, I was gonna try and use insight to like try and predict.
What are you trying to predict here?
Well, I thought if I could see the creature, I could try and see like predict its next move using insight and like try and do the opposite or whatever that thing is.
I'll go ahead and say with your passive insight, which is pretty decent. Whenever they had basically like the Hexers had split and said you guys are being hunted, we're out of here. You know that they're whatever it is that's hunting you guys is hunting y'all. And you put two and two together, being in the forest now, being controlled by green dragons, y'all are being hunted by a green dragon.
Right.
You don't see it, but you know that.
Have they been giving each other commands, like as they're writing?
The Hexers? It's been all infernal.
Right, but can I use my understanding of people to try and discern what each call out like means and
Context clues kind of thing.
context clues? Like, oh, he said this guttural sound and they went this way, and then they said this other guttural sound and they went this way.
Oof. Off.
Yeah. Either like
on
a
the
perception
fly.
or insight on.
Learning left, right, and stop. Please.
I will give you insight. Normally you have advantage on insight being the type of gunslinger you are.
I have what do you call it? Not insight, like the extra proficiency. The,
Expertise.
Expertise, yeah.
Okay, you have expertise, not advantage.
Right.
Okay. This is going to be an insight flat. So add your proficiency,
But once.
but not the expertise.
Cool. So it'd be +7 instead of 10. Ah! Oh, dang. That is a 6 or 9. This is 6 plus 7 is 13.
13 is the first failure for Team A. You hear various whistles and shouts and infernal happening in front of you, and as you guys like, the trail begins to descend further and further. It's almost as if this woods is pockmarked onto a hillside, and as you descend, you can kind of see a little bit off in the distance figures moving in and out of the forest canopy below you, but you're not sure if this is actually the Hexers or not. And then it begins getting rocky. And once it starts getting rocky and vaulted, the sounds stop, and you are uncertain of their entire pathway. I will say with this roll, though, all but one set of hooves are still on this pathway.
Okay.
I will say with this insight, there is one set of hooves from the horse that have not joined the rest of the group as you surge forward. Back to Group B.
Like the sounds, I guess, is what I'm picking up off of. Okay.
So I had an idea, but it kind of doesn't make sense.
I sort of have one, and I wonder if he'll let me do it. Let me.
Maybe I can help.
Yeah, I was going to investigate
But I didn't know how to make it
a way to use Stack and his designation abilities to stand in the middle of the back of the chariot next to Thea and move his arms kind of like a weight ballast to help eliminate some of the shakiness that is causing us
I
problems.
love the idea, but you made the last roll in Team
Okay.
B. So you need to make this roll for Team B. So it's still possible, but this is Thauner's roll.
Then
So-
persuade someone to do something. We've already used
Deception.
Deception.
we've used deception, we've used perception. So
I would like to
inception. No, I'm just kidding.
persuade Stack
Reception.
to do that. 'Cause
I imagine you would have said something like, "It's harder to steer."
Yes, it's like it almost seems like it's imposing a disadvantage on us to have
we
this
keep kind of
instability.
listening. We
Yeah,
keep like listening to the left because he's on
use
that
them
side.
as like a
Yes, like-
active balancing gyroscope.
Stack, stand in the middle of the chariot, arms out, and kind of balance out the shakiness back there. Thea, help
Yeah.
him stay on the chariot.
If you look directly straight out back, Stack, you'll see the skyline and keep it level.
Yes.
Give me a persuasion check.
I don't know why I'm looking. I always look, and I should know by now exactly what that number is.
Now,
Whatever
is
rolls
that?
you.
I hate to be that guy, but is it a disadvantage?
This is at disadvantage.
Why?
Because we said because we were shaky, our
I
next
was,
roll
I
had
was
to
there
be a
close to saying it
disadvantage.
too, and then you almost rolled 2.
But do you have
I
advantage?
thought this was to negate the disadvantage. But that's
He does not have advantage on persuasion here. No.
Yeah, well, the goal is to negate it, but we have it until we negate it.
Yes.
Can I help them?
No. Not for a skill challenge.
It's actually 7. It looks like 1. It's 7.
yeah, still. Well, I mean,
Six.
never mind. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
it's fine. It's a 21.
Yeah.
21. Okay.
That's
You
6 and the 7.
you hear that,
41.
and he says, "Okay." And he just like kind of hops off the back of the chariot, grabbing onto a piece of the wood, and just drags his feet into the dirt. And then, like, as bumps occur, his stone feet just destroy them. And he's literally just like keeping this thing level as you guide it.
And that doesn't slow us down?
It slows you down a little bit, but as you guys progress further, you have succeeded in this skill challenge. The chariot eventually goes off of a side of the path where the creek now becomes wider and wider into a river that starts to flow into desertous, dune-like terrain. You guys have made it down a part of the hillside that has become sandy. In Group B effectively are at the very edge of Shades Valley Desert.
We're gonna lose our cover.
You have lost your cover.
Oh, we lost our cover.
Back to Group A.
Alrighty.
We made it out of the forest.
So I want to see if I can use my knowledge of the forest to take a shortcut and head. We need one extra horse, right? So yeah, head the one.
You
extra
did.
horse off.
You did very. Okay, so hold on. I will say you did very recently make this trek from Shades Valley to Drake Haven. What are you trying to use for this knowledge again?
History.
No, what are you trying to do with this knowledge? Like, what are you trying to succeed in?
Use a shortcut to get ahead of competition.
Okay. I'll tell you this. You can use the same check either way. If you're trying to take a shortcut to get ahead, the DC will be higher. If you're trying to stay on par for the course, it will be a standard DC.
Let's risk it for the biscuit.
Okay. So you have this at advantage.
Sea biscuit.
This could make or break Team A right here.
Nat 20.
Let's go!
Was that a disadvantage or advantage?
At advantage. At advantage.
I was like, wow.
Okay.
I've been excited for a 20, but I've never been so relieved. 20. Oh, thank God.
Okay, you see like all of these shelves of hills and everything, and as you guys are passing, you're like, hold on a second. There is a way that these rocks, like on the way in, you passed it off as something that was beautiful to you. You had seen like these rock formations, red and gray in texture, layered, forming similar shapes of the sandy dunes within your home family. And as Hammerfist panics is like, how are we going to move forward from here? You see those same rocks. You know that the top of them are wide and flat enough for a horse to travel. Hoping that this horse is confident enough to make jumps. You steer the horse off to the side and start galloping over rock tops. Like it went from like a ground-like terrain sound to a harsh clacking sound of hooves on stone. And as you and Roscoe continued forward, jumps, lands on another rock, jumps, lands on another rock. This horse is literally like jumping rock to rock, descending this hillside. And you make it down, and as you approach down, Jack, more or less intuitively, you and Leon would either follow suit or continue on the path. What would you do here? You guys effectively pass, so whatever you decide, you can tell me what happens.
100% jump on the rocks.
You guys see, Leon follows.
If it seemed...
Come on, you old man!
Yeah, I'll like tie a rope around like the body of the horse and kind of make myself some handles to hang on to, but yeah.
Okay.
Just,
So you guys see like almost like an Elden Ring with the horse, just like Roscoe and Hammerfist's horse just like bounding down these rocks. You guys all follow.
He just double jumped.
And as you guys all convene down this ridgeline of rocks, you guys hear like this grinding sound of stone on stone, then hitting sand. You see Stack hanging on the back of this wagon.
I'm wondering where they went.
Yeah, like and you guys like you guys all like converge together. Everybody give me a perception check.
This didn't work too well last time.
they're drifting somehow.
I mean, more or less in the sand, yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
23.
Is everyone, we're together now, right?
Yeah.
More or less, yeah. Y'all are within 100 feet of each other.
So we all roll perceptions, though.
Yeah, everybody roll perception.
23.
I got that holy number.
14?
7.
Oh. 14, 7, 23.
Homemade 20.
Homemade.
We're going to keep coming up with more words.
Please. Yes, please. Okay, what did you get?
I baked an 11.
Okay. Take. All right, Roscoe?
20. I also got 23.
23? Okay. With the. It was 15 over here with Salvo?
14.
14. Salvo, you kind of look back in this wagon and you see wings off in the distance, probably about 600-700 feet back, like flying in your direction, with a homemade 20. You not only see that, and you see that this creature has their eyes trained on you guys. You look back towards the front of the wagon, and you see that 7 of the Hexers have made their way out of the forest from the trail. With a 23, you see that there is one, like in the very last second, making your way down. And the interesting part is you guys are both on different horses. You guys hop off the rocks, and you look over, like you can see the dragon before you, you can see the Hexers in front of you, and you look back into the forest, and the black-haired woman has 2 arrows notched and fires. I need you two to roll a d20 flat and tell me what you get.
I do have.
I know.
Okay.
I also have a thing, so.
Arrow
We'll see.
Everyone's got a thing.
18.
That's cocked as fuck.
That is very cocked. I saw that.
That's a 3. Oh,
Okay.
flat? Yeah.
Yep.
You're making up for all those 20s.
You have, so these 2 arrows sail through the arc and almost connect with you, Roscoe. What are you doing here?
Can I snatch one out of the air? Are they that close? Can
There's
I use
2 of them, but yes.
Yeah, so,
I'll tell you this. You'll be able to snatch one of them.
alright. And then I reduce the damage enough, I'd like to launch it back at her.
Okay. Both of them will hit. That is a directional dice. That is not a D8.
I can't catch both of them?
No.
Oh, I only have one reaction.
Yes. Okay.
Reaction surge?
So I'll go ahead and say this. Flip a coin. 1 is 1, or heads is 1, tails is 2.
Dragon. I don't know which one that is.
I'm gonna say that's heads.
the other side.
The damage on that was 8.
Oh yeah, I reduced that because it's 1d10 plus 9.
Okay, you completely catch the first arrow. The second one sinks into you. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
It doesn't have to like. Yeah, I guess that's the d20. There's no AC. Okay. Is it poison? Because I get advantage.
This is poison.
Yeah. 1.
So excited.
It was a 3 and a 1, so I rerolled that. Plus the con save is a 17.
That passes. Okay, so as this arrow sinks into you, take 13 points of poison damage, and you feel your body seizing up, like the neurological and tendons on your body begin to squeeze on themselves, and then you just kind of like squeeze past it, and you release all of that poison, and there's just an arrow stuck into you with one in your hand.
I spend 1 key point to launch that one in my hand back at her.
At disadvantage. She's over 300 feet away from you.
Okay.
That's going to be an impressive pitch, my friend.
Well,
Tee it up to yourself.
She shot an arrow from 300 feet away.
You can. Up to 320, I think.
600 for a longbow.
Oh, shit, yeah, right.
should I save? That's a pretty impressive poison. Maybe I should save
Especially
that
if you have the sharpshooter.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm actually going to save that arrow for later. Is there any way that I could throw it like a dart in the future?
Idea.
Technically, yes, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to save that crazy poison arrow.
Okay. You guys, Roscoe saves this arrow. You guys all now find yourselves on sandy dunes. Probably about, I'd say now getting close to about 800 feet away. The Hexers are still making their way out into the desert. You know that they're heading straight for the southwestern siege. And you also know, based on their distance and your distance, they will beat you from here. However, as all of these things happen in your mind, you see still green wings flying through the skies with two suns beating down and reflecting off of their scales. and that's where we're going to go to break.
Oh boy.
They're back.
Ooh, yeah, we'll be back. So yeah, we're going to take a
Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Crinkles.
Crinkles.
We're going to take a quick 15-minute break, stretch our legs, drink some water, go to the bathroom. Shut up, Roscoe. And we will see you guys here in 15 minutes or so. So, all right. Welcome back to Scales of Fate. Can anyone confirm?
No, there's a lag.
Oh,
good.
no.
1 second.
It looks good.
It
did
looks
great.
good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but audio is the important.
Camera.
No, I don't think a lag
Yeah,
on the
we seem to be
stream.
back.
No,
We're
yeah,
back?
it's
Just a delay between what we see.
So, welcome back to Scales of Fate.
We're just gonna go for it.
Here we are, finding ourselves in a tense situation that is not exactly resolved, but also you guys did succeed on getting out of the forest. Knell. Group A and Group B has now converged back to group togetherness.
Group
Unity.
Group we.
Group we.
And you see the wings of a green dragon sailing in your direction. Now, everybody give me a perception check.
And no, we have not officially beat the Cronkles/Crinkles.
Cronkles?
It was a question in the chat.
The crinkles.
We beat the Cronkles/Crinkles.
Yes.
It made me giggle.
It's a homemade plan.
Mine does. I'm blind. I got a 2.
Mine is blind.
Chef, I've prepared for you a 22.
That is the spiciest 22 I've ever
What are we rolling?
Perception.
My perceptions have been okay
Hello?
today.
As people are gathering their perceptions, can I grab a potion of healing? I think it's just a standard one.
Going right here.
And then,
Thank you, Holland's Tap, for tonight's potion of healing, aluminum cowboy.
and then just
Get you
smash
some.
it and juice it into my mouth.
I allow
health
that.
potion also.
Go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2.
Bite into the glass jar like the dragon. Ow!
I
heal
want
it,
the
right?
flavor to be there without the punishment.
This will go
He
there.
hardens his mouth with
I don't
gems
like
when he
that.
does it.
Okay, so that is a 7.
Okay, you heal 7 points.
Sweet.
So, with the perception check, let's go ahead and say 20 to 25. Hammer fist.
20 to 20.
22.
Okay.
Also,
15 to 20.
ooh.
18.
Oh, 20.
God
Okay. We're professionals. 10 to 15.
We're not.
Had to match.
Yeah, I got 11.
Okay.
13.
All right. So, with an 18 salvo, you see that the Hexers have stopped their caravan for a brief moment. And 22, right? What did you get?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, dirty 20 and 22. You see that the archer that was still in the woods has folded back into the brush. You also see that this dragon, as it continues forward, it is beaming straight for you guys. Now, I will say this. Let me get a timer out.
It's the biggest one you have.
Oh, it's one of the smaller ones.
Oh, that's.
Wait, finish what you're saying first.
What I will say is that you have this much time to
Spread out.
figure out a plan
Catch the crinkles.
before initiative is rolled.
Catch the crinkles.
You go this way.
We don't stop.
How much invisibility can Thea cast?
Stay away.
How much invisibility can you cast?
I'm literally out of spell slots for that.
You suck.
I have enough to help you guys, but I
Okay.
burnt all of my
Dragons,
spell
Like
slots.
forest, this isn't a forest. Can we
keep
like,
riding.
blind it or heat it, or does it hate sand?
So, how far away are the horses in front of us? The ones that didn't?
The Hexers?
Yeah.
About 400 or 500 feet.
Okay, and they stopped.
Yeah.
All right, so our horse is going there.
Yeah.
I hope that's cool.
Can I scoop up sand, use my fire hands to turn it into glass, and launch glass balls?
Ooh, like it. All right, I'm gonna second wind on my way as well.
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, and we'll hold that thought.
All right.
So hold that thought.
I won't survive if we stop. I need to keep riding. The dragon will eventually leave us. It's the desert. It's the black. Tell me, no, it's the green. No, the desert.
Hammerfist had told you that it is
the
controlled
Darkest
by two different dragons. The Darkest Night controls it during the night, or
In the brightest day.
no.
I'm just kidding.
And there is rumor of a large blue dragon within this area.
Well, I say the darkest night controls the desert. The green, we must keep riding and just keep riding.
Makes a good point.
I don't think the dragon's gonna care. Do we have a plan B just in case? I mean, yes, keep riding. I also like that plan.
Get the crinkles behind us.
What else is there to do with dragons?
Get in the middle of the crinkles so it kills all of us at least.
Bless you.
Hopefully they'll join us if we kill the dragon.
And you guys are all riding in this general direction of
That might be
the
doable.
Hexers.
Put them between us and the dragon.
Well, or tell them,
Heal 10.
okay, pause the race for a minute
up?
because we're all
Heal 10,
fighting a
second one.
freaking dragon.
Use-
That'll
the
only
second
work
one.
if we get in the middle of them.
Yeah, we need to
Be
get
sure to
to
announce
them
on
at
camera.
least.
Yep.
It does. So, once again, catch the crinkles.
Okay.
Alright, we got a plan.
All right. Everybody rolling up, catching the crinkles. I'll go ahead and say that, especially since this timer is rolling out, you guys do catch up with the Hexers who have stopped at this edge of the desert. You see a lot of curious looks. The Furbolg, the Tiefling. You now see the half-elf riding out from the forest, joining up with you guys. At this rate, that green dragon is about 300 feet away.
That half-elf rides fast.
Very fast.
So I cast my second wind and healed for 10.
Okay.
And some of my little echo guy with my sights set on that Furbolg. Crinkles.
Okay. JJ, what are you doing here?
Nervous? I'm scared.
I'm sweaty.
Rolling up.
Yeah, rolling up.
Rolling up.
Yeah.
Locked. Loaded.
Can you describe the area a little bit?
Desertous dunes.
Everywhere.
Mostly everywhere. Like you guys, there are several veins of water that are kind of trickling down into this desert that dry up in not a near immediate vicinity. It's about 1,000 foot away. But more or less it's just dunes.
The name of this place is rather misleading.
Shades Valley?
Yeah. What shade?
The darkest night.
Yep.
100%.
Darkest Nights Valley.
It is their valley.
Ooh.
You guys are all talking like riding along together.
So we've reached up to them at this point.
Sure. Yes.
We're approaching.
Yes. You are within 50 feet.
How good are you with your sling?
We're trying to kill them?
Not them.
Yes.
Once,
Against
can
a
I ready
dragon?
an
I'm
action?
beat a force. Do you?
What's that?
I want to ready my telepathy. Or actually, my voice would travel as far as telepathy, right? If I yelled.
You know that?
Technically, voices travel farther. What are you trying to do here?
Basically, I'm going to say, that dragon is coming for us, and we don't shoot. We must either fight him together or all run. Do you have healing?
He's not wrong.
Go ahead and give me a. Interestingly enough, give me either a survival or an animal handling check.
I'm doing animal handling. And does anyone want to?
I got you.
Okay.
Roll it again.
Hopefully that's
Inspiration spent.
Burning inspiration. Okay.
so much worth it. 21.
Okay. With a 21, as you ride forward, you guys more or less connect into a physical range with the Hexers. As you were shouting this out loud, you're also like telepathically saying this to like animals in the area.
Okay.
Being all the horses, the Hexers all dismount. You all dismount and the horses ride forward. Hammerfist, you know they're riding towards the siege.
Wait, so now we're just in the middle with no horses?
And as you guys are
They're
all
all
standing there, you guys look over and you see this dragon heading towards all of you. And it stops, wings up in the air, blows back a little bit. Passive perception. This is an adult. This one is twice as long as Ixcar. I need everybody here to give me a flat d20 roll.
Before we do
17.
that, can I drink my potion of
17?
healing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Can I summon my cannon
This number.
as a protector?
If you would like.
Yeah, I was going to do that as we were coming up to everyone because we see
Okay.
this shit coming.
Okay.
Maybe
We'll say
it's a
that's already
nice
happened.
dragon.
We'll say that's already happened.
Can I say?
And I activate it.
Actually, I don't know.
Everyone gets 2 temp hit points.
Thank you.
Hey, it all adds up.
And we're rolling a flat d20. All right.
Yeah.
All right. 16.
19.
Okay.
I'm gonna not. I'm gonna
So right now I have a 16, a 17, a 19. What else do I have?
A 9.
a 9 as well.
Okay. 3.
What is a zoogie?
I'm gonna go ahead and add the Hexers. Only add 6 of the Hexers because I don't want to roll for Stack and Thea. It's a 17. It's an 18. That's really good. 1. It's a 13. It's a 4. 9. And 2. Okay.
Still averages okay.
From a story standpoint, the reason why I asked for this roll is to see if this dragon feels like this is a fight they can win. Their DC, they want to pass it, and it's a wisdom saving throw. They have a +3 to this roll. You guys effectively got a dirty 20. So they need to roll 17 or higher on the dice.
Crafted 20.
16!
Oh my god!
Wow. I just saw a
What do you
1
want?
and I saw the
You
1
guys
first.
see? And the dragon sails off back towards the forest
Oh
Knell.
my.
Barely.
I'm
Yeah, that's what I thought.
mad obscenities. Like stuff people haven't even heard of.
I cover Roscoe's mouth.
I'm gonna cover Stack's ears. Ear holes.
Random dwarven stuff I saw inscribed on the wall when I was a kid. I'm pronouncing it really badly.
I speak Dwarvish and I know what you're trying to say.
Me too. Your dwarvish needs work, but shut your mouth.
The tiefling walks up, kind of in the front of the rest of the group. All right. So you guys are fucked. Right fucked. I can see that. We're just here, hired to win the race.
And now you're involved.
Well, technically, our horses are making our way to the sieve itself. We don't want to be involved.
Do it.
We want nothing to do with you and whatever it is you did to piss off
Nah, man,
forest.
you became part of this when you fucked with our shit.
Wrong. You made us part of this. Specifically you.
No, you got hired. You took the job. You're not a crinkle. You could have turned down the job. You accepted it. That's on you.
You see a like russet brown haired dwarf walk up.
A dwarf.
Yep. Walk up next to him. We get hired and we do the job. And we get paid to do the job. The job was to win the race.
Nah. The race was against the crinkles. I'm a hired part of the Bandersnatch.
We're a hired part of
you're
the crinkles,
mercenaries.
bud.
I've been working as a stable hand as the Bandersnatches for the last 2 years.
Give me a deception check.
It's just lying over here.
That's my pappy. Roscoe Bandersnatch.
No one's wasting
I'm not
information.
giving you information for that.
10.
You're full of shit, mate, and I can smell it on your breath.
You're full of shit I can smell on your pants.
You want to tussle? You want to tussle, mate? I'll go after it. He starts walking up to you, and like the tiefling like grabs him. He's like, hey. I got to calm down. Listen. We just want to tell our employees we won the race. We don't want any part of whatever the fuck you guys are into. In fact, we're going to take the long way back home.
All right, well then you can just miss out on all the treasure. That's fine.
It's not like you're
I'm
doing
sorry,
this for
what?
the money.
What are you trying to accomplish here?
Treasure. You
Keep
see,
them from telling them that they
you
won.
see all the hexers. You see all the hexers perk up ears and look at you.
There's not a race.
Don't tell them about the.
Talking about we just lost it. How can we lose something that there isn't is?
We lost it. It wasn't real.
What kind of treasure are you speaking of, mate?
Don't tell
Ancient.
them. Don't tell them about the treasure.
Ancient.
The treasure witch?
Don't tell them about the treasure in the Shimmering Fang.
I mean, I wasn't gonna go that far.
I like kind of wide-eyed, like, do tell them about the treasure in the Shimmering
Look,
Fang.
man. I mean, honestly, get out of
me
here.
a
Go.
deception check.
Like that's
Well,
fine.
Okay, yeah, it is.
Can I get a reverse psychology check?
I don't.
What'd you get?
Oh, that's a -2.
What'd you get?
3.
You're trying to trick us.
I was talking to him.
Is there treasure or not?
Mate, why do you think we're trying to get out here?
Trying to get out to the desert?
Yeah, just for fun?
To win the
Likely not.
Yeah, so, like, do you think there's like a big burner party going on, or do you think we came out here for treasure?
Came out here for treasure.
Yeah, so why are you even asking?
Asking because it could be profitable to us.
Yeah, but I thought you didn't want to be involved, so why don't you take your little stroll back and get your pocket change?
Pocket change from the race is about 30,000 gold.
Yeah, well, I hope it's not locked in the chest.
Considering the crinkles are back home, likely it is. However, if you have
Well, that might be a problem.
more treasure, we could forego the $30,000 or 30,000 gold prize. You guys could accrue it for yourselves, and you tell us exactly where you know this treasure to be.
Nah, if you want it, you gotta come with us.
Hold on. Who is paying 30,000 gold for this race?
The crinkles.
So they will pay.
I'm so happy with myself right now.
Well,
That seems obscene.
you know what? You take the 30,000 if you want. We're going for the vault. I'm sure you've heard of it. In the Shimmering Fang.
I set up the best race in
I have it.
history.
Enlighten me. What is this vault?
There are rumors of a vault beneath the dancing lights in the sky in the canyon.
You just see Salva going like this, like
Leon's eyebrows.
Within a deep
perk.
ravine. It's inaccessible from standard land transportation.
Can I?
Is that right?
I
He kind of looks you up and down. Is this the type of vault that a crazed number of you would falsify a race, sabotage it in the meantime, endure the ire of chromatic dragons just to seek?
When you say it out loud,
It sounds awesome.
No, actually,
Yeah.
when you say it out loud, you're right. We just did this for sport.
Hexers, we move towards the Shimmering Fang. They start walking away.
What did we just accomplish?
So this shimmering fang.
Won the race.
Were we going to the Shimmering Fang?
Yes.
Are we?
I don't think we're specifically going to the Shimmering Fang.
I mean,
Who's got who's proficient with history?
They could get eaten
Me?
by a dragon,
Proficient.
and then the dragon will be
Whoever's,
great at it.
whoever's
Proficient.
proficient with history, give me a history check with advantage.
You want to each roll one?
Oh. Well, each?
Each.
Yeah, so use one.
So
18 is probably
How do you know if you're proficient? What is
if
it
you have
like?
the dot filled in.
What if it's half filled in?
24.
So Salvo's rolling and Hammerfist is rolling, correct?
That's some type of bard stuff. I don't know. Yeah.
What did you get?
It's some bard shit.
What did you get?
Proficient.
24.
Okay, Hammerfist with an 18. You know the Shimmering Fang to be the home and lair of the adult blue dragon that lives within the Shades Valley. With a 24, Salvo, you remember that Belmi Orzov had told you guys that the blue dragon orb may or may not be located within this vicinity.
that's great. They either all die or they steal it for us. And so as they're walking away, I say, just too loud. Man, at least you didn't tell them they could only see the door at nighttime.
Vasco, shut up. They can still hear us.
Hold on. Hold on.
I love you.
High, low, or middle?
The crinkles.
Hi.
Oh my god.
Give me a deception check.
Does this help?
No.
Did you say that information out loud?
Actually, 100%.
15?
Oh.
You see that the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, one in the robes, the martial artist, as you guys are walking away, still trailing the back of the line, looks over, hears what you said, kind of sees you in the corner of their eye, shrugs and keeps walking.
So I don't know.
I look up at you, Salvo, and I go, I must go there. We should go there.
no, right now you're not.
I think it would be ill-advised to go there right now.
Put my hand on Leon's shoulder. Wait, we didn't say about the blue dragon out loud, though.
No.
Yeah, that part wasn't said.
Oh,
That part wasn't
the
said.
shimmering fang.
Shimmering Fang
despite
was-
all of that, when discussions were made about heading in a certain direction and where treasure was, regardless of what you heard or did not hear, you feel compelled to head farther into this desert.
I feel like that's a quest for a future time when we're more prepared to deal with.
How long?
If I had to say, a few levels or so.
If I would put a number to it.
I'd say level 10-ish.
Man.
When we're about twice as efficient as we are now.
And rested.
And rested. And not following a bunch of people who are misinformed.
Aye.
Why do you want to go so bad?
Dragons.
You guys are right. We should go to bed.
The sun's still
Not
out.
in the yeah, it's the best.
We need better cover.
Yeah.
Both suns hit high in the sky, and as it crests about noon, everybody mark a point of exhaustion as you have not slept in the
Oh,
last
it's 12?
36. Yep.
In the afternoon?
Yep. You have not slept.
Sat at the edge of the
found it.
forest.
It's 12 in the
Conditions
afternoon. Your eyes are the size of a dune.
I wish I gave you guys inspiration again.
Stop.
We'll take experience too.
Ooh, suspenseful. Oh, just kidding.
Just changing it up a little bit.
Where do I mark
I'm trying to find
exhaustion?
it. Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
Conditions.
Conditions.
So can I do a insight roll to see if I would maybe know a in the desert biome typical spots where you could lay down for a little bit?
History or insight with advantage?
With disadvantage,
Advantage.
but now exhaustion.
Advantage.
Oh, wow.
I'm using the app.
I'm sorry.
What's up?
Yeah. Where was that?
I don't know where it is on the app.
Okay.
No, I'm fully aware that they cancel out. There's a reason.
Word.
Conditions. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, and I'm rolling. That's good. 19 right there. And I'm going to use the 19 for a 22.
22. Most of the places that could be used as sleep or cover within a desert, under rocks, rocky crags, buried underneath sand, like there is a vision encapsulating in your mind not dissimilar to when Smargard speaks to you while you're asleep. But fully awake, you see a vision of like imagine like a drone's camera just moving rapidly throughout a desert, and the first thing you see is a kind of like, it looks like a stone pillar just in the ground, and as the drone's camera like dives into that area, you see that there's a whole village below it with people moving and working. In fact, one of them is like a gnome just kind of like repairing a sail on what appears to be like a strange boat. The vision sparks back up into the air, rises higher and higher into the air, and you look around, you see several different craggy mountain ranges. All of them are pointing you east, 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 far, far east, far east. It's almost as if like you have like a blip of where points of rest could potentially be, but only heading in that direction.
I say, I know a place where we can rest and possibly find people that we need to meet.
Where?
East, by the craggy mountains.
Would I know a better place that's more en route for where we're going?
I'll go ahead and say that you guys like converse, like you interrogate him on what he's saying that he claims to know. And you know this to be the nearest sieve.
Okay.
Like, he's perfectly describing the nearest sieve, and then everything after that is landscape.
How do you know about that sieve?
I am a dreamer. And I just had a daydream.
Aye. We should go there.
Roscoe's taking his 5th drink. So, where are we supposed to be going?
Before we head that way, if I understood correctly, I would hope that there might be some type of sand vehicle shop of sorts. You know, some sand boats, something.
You
of
know,
that nature.
you know that the sand sails inherently leave their port from sieves themselves. If there was one in passing, it would be by luck.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Well, I'm just curious if you were like leaving the sieve to go, like I did. Would I have walked from that sieve?
You would have walked.
Dropped it off at the sieve and then...
You would have walked because that sieve is it's at the very southwestern edge of Shades Valley, and the sand sails typically are for traversing the massive expanse that is the desert itself. So for perspective, your the very far southwestern sieve that you had left from to Drakehaven was about 50 miles from your sieve home, which was not, it was slightly off center from the middle of this desert.
Okay. And do I believe we could get to this sieve before nightfall?
No.
Could we get to the one he's talking about before nightfall?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes.
Before an hour passes, I'm going to activate the cannon as many times as it takes to hit max, so everyone has 8 to 10 hit points.
Thank you.
In place of the 2?
Yes. Yeah.
Anytime you get temporary points, you can choose to have it take over.
So I do it for max.
So do temporary hit points never stack?
Oh shit.
No, never.
I did this wrong.
More specifically, Hammerfist here, you would know that
I'm sorry, it's 13.
without dawdling, making it to the sieve is your best chance of not being outside during nightfall.
We must make haste to the nearest sieve.
Do we think that the Kankles could go to the place they were going to before nightfall?
The Kankles are screwed.
So the Hexers had told you that the location of which the race would end is said sieve to the southwest. I'm trying to pull up the name that I had given it.
If they're the Hexers, I guess that makes us the Flexers.
So Hammerfist, so are we kind of
But
walking
they're not going
towards
there,
the
right?
thing.
They're going to the. Sorry, I'm
No, you're good.
It's on sideways.
Yeah, same. Are we? So we're currently walking towards the.
Sounds to me
Walking, riding horses.
possible
I thought our horses
alternate.
ran away.
No, they sent their horses. So they would have technically won had they got held up there. So their horses would have made it through. Oh,
That's a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
How do our horses feel like going through the sand?
Sand shoes. We can make our sand shoes. But the Crinkles weren't going southwest. They were going to that.
The Hexers were going to the first hospitable range within Shades Valley Desert, which is Sieve Kalor. Sieve Kalor is the one that is to the far southwest.
Which we just
What
determined you
farming?
couldn't make.
Hospitality,
before
right?
nighttime.
What's up?
Which we just determined you couldn't make before nighttime. That's why we're going.
You guys could barely make it there before nighttime.
It's a ghost town.
And there could be a sand ship there.
No, everything is glass.
Trust me, we must go.
But we could beat
See
the
the Kalors
Crinkles
where I'm
because they don't
from.
have horses.
What's up?
But we could beat the Crinkles
No.
to the end of it.
They have a head start on
But they don't
you.
have horses.
Horses don't go that fast in sand.
All right.
Oh, they do. Hard packs. Anyways, that's a demon. So. Hammerfist.
Aye.
This shimmering fang you said?
Aye.
Have you seen it yourself? No.
Nay.
It's
Can you describe to me what it looks like?
Aye. There's a deep ravine, and inside that deep ravine, I do not know what it looks like actually, but there are.
Right.
The sky lights up to show where it is at.
I look up to the sky. Hammerfist. Have you ever seen a crystal castle in the desert?
History check with advantage.
I hope. That's 20. I've concocted a 21.
Okay. So, relative to Leon asking you about the Shimmering Fang, and then him further describing as, have you ever seen something similar to this? The Shimmering Fang itself is a ravine that digs itself deep into the desertous dunes in the far eastern side of the desert. The rocks themselves seem normal as far as the desertous region goes, like red and brown and slightly slate gray as they layer themselves, but once they crest towards the points and tops of them, they are shimmering, almost as if gilded or gem-like. When you had described the lights, once a month, towards the east, there is an aurora that erupts from the Shimmering Fang and permeates a pinkish and silvery hue throughout the air. Hence their name, the Shimmering Fangs.
Is it that time of the month?
You don't know yet, because the aurora occurs during nightfall.
As I'm looking up at the sky and I ask Hammerfist that question, I just grip my horse's mane a little tighter, and a single tear falls out of my eye.
You gripped it
I
too
must
hard.
go there. And then I look forward and keep riding. Is it alright to you?
They do not seem alright.
You know, they're
I think it's beyond your skills and my understanding.
I mean, I know people, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have your girl's card?
there have been rumors that it was once used as a base of operations for some known as the Knights of Damascus, if you're familiar with those dwarfs.
a little bit.
Yeah, that was,
It's a long story, but yeah, familiar.
yeah.
Have you heard of Dragosite? Metal Fist?
Who are you asking?
Metal
Hammerfist?
Fist.
Give me a history check.
You're looking at me, I was like, yeah, we were there.
I'm
when
sorry, you're just across from me.
No, yeah. It's like, of course I've heard of it.
Where am I?
No, I'm sorry, 11.
You've never heard of Dragosite?
No. I have not.
Supposedly it can help us with dragons, fighting in them. The dwarves, I believe, used it at one point long ago.
There could be some there. I doubt it. That's where Limrith likes to pass time.
Yeah, let's not mess with that.
Yeah, the Great Coast will do just fine there.
So, just to refresh my memory, Wygroff came out here to go to what ruins?
Supposedly he was looking for a vault
A vault?
within ruins that were not very clear on exactly where or what they were.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a history check.
That would be in line with what I described.
Yeah, because you had met someone named Groff, and that was kind
Yes.
of our indication that
And I gave
we needed
directions.
to
Yes.
go
So
wherever it was that they were heading.
I'll go ahead and say give me a history check with advantage.
That looks like a 1, right?
It looks
That's
like
a 7.
That was a 7.
Every time I'm like, it's a 7. Okay. But still, 12 is better. That is a history. That's a 16.
Okay. With a 16, more or less, like after Wygroff, or after Hammerfist has described the shimmering fangs to Leon as you guys continue to ride through on the day, and it's getting very hot. You guys are starting to acclimate to the weather. Your mouth is getting dry. You're sweating, and immediately that sweat is burning off of your skin. What skin is exposed?
I'm staying hydrated.
I'm not sweating.
Go ahead and give me
die first.
Go ahead and give me a con save, and we'll get back to that. No. Actually, this is a flat roll.
I pull my shirt up, take it off. Body.
Body.
But from here, no. You have a flat roll. Thowner, from here, with the mysticism of the shimmering fang and the way that Hammerfist has described it, there hasn't been much other to bite onto as far as like investigative purposes goes. And when Hammerfist had said this used to be the ruins that belonged to an old organization of the Knights of Damascus, you put two and two together and you think that is the same place that a vault would be hidden.
Yep. Or an old coot like Wygroff would want to go and look for it.
Yes. Now, Roscoe, what'd you get on your con save?
A mighty 7.
You have been drinking, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, give me one more con save flat.
But I mean, I still get my beer. I mean, just
For sure. This is to see if you're wasted.
It's a 1. Ooh, that's a 19.
You are not wasted. You are extremely drunk.
Yeah. Get my. Oh, I already had a 10 points. It's not
Fighter
better than that.
22.
So that would be my question. Why wouldn't Roscoe's being drunk 10 hit points stack with a magical buff 10 hit points?
Because 10 hit points still stack.
That's just how the mechanics of
That's
10
just
hit points.
mechanics?
Yeah,
Okay.
just the
Whatever.
mechanics.
But we can agree that that's illogical, right?
Sure, yeah. So if it was World of Warcraft and you were a priest and you had two different bubbles on them, like, yeah, I get that. But it's D&D.
I lose some
Curious.
hit points from being drunk and not sweating, and then I gain them back for being drunk.
Yes, so you're drinking your own sweat.
Ew.
I thought I was drinking Leon's sweat.
Yeah. I use my shirt and then I bring it out.
I'm
Yeah.
pouring that all over myself. But
Okay.
I need a charisma save against the bod.
You guys continue
Yeah,
riding,
Thank God I'm resistant
charmed.
to being free.
and as the suns begin to set,
Ugh, sleep, please.
Hammerfist, you know that the closest safe point is Sieve Kalor from here.
Steve Galore?
Or the other one, sorry.
To Clore Southwest. We were going east, I thought.
Yes,
that's-
yes. The one that was closer to your hometown is Sieve Kalor.
Gotcha. Steve Korvag?
Yes, Korvag.
Okay.
Sieve Korvag is rolling up pretty soon. And
The Crinkle people went to Steve Galore?
or did they go to the?
you
Steve Galore's where I'm from.
go ahead and give me a survival check.
I don't care where they go as long as you roll for if they get eaten by nighttime dragon. You don't have to tell us.
At advantage for the dragon. $19, by the way.
They're also going to, if they get there, perhaps one of the two places is a city made of glass, which they're not going to find any help at.
Halfway through the journey, you guys had seen footprints that then had coalesced with hoof marks, and it was just hoof marks from there,
Going which way?
east.
And we're going east.
So not to Steve Glory. So maybe to the.
You can tell Hammerfist that they are heading towards Sieve Kalor,
Which is southwest.
No, Kalora is centralized. That's your hometown.
We're heading southwest.
You're heading towards Siv Korvag, which is the safest place.
Which was east.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You're heading to the safe place. They were heading to the not safe place.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
How about
Perfect.
Yeah.
That works.
that? There we go.
That's exactly what I was hoping.
Thank you.
Directions.
Directions are lost on me.
Okay.
We're going east.
They're going that way.
southwest.
We're going this way.
Yes, you guys have
Not that way.
diverged locations.
Okay.
They have a better chance of being eaten.
They're gonna beat us to the unsafe place. Got it.
They technically, per race rules, have already beat you, but they have continued forward.
Rules made by who?
I made the rules. I can change them.
So what was the
As
survival check for?
the survival check was finding the entrances to Korvag, so you can actually do so with advantage.
Wow.
Oh, I already got a 19. And that's a confirmed 19.
Okay. So, as you guys continue riding through the night, the suns begin to set. And as they do so, there's a purplish bluish hue reflecting off of all of the dunes around you. You can still hear the horses' pattered breath as they ride on through. Hammerfist basically is pointing off in a direction. And you guys hear one of the most unsettling, ungodly sounds that you've ever heard. Thousands and thousands and thousands of feet away from you, rising up from a hill of dunes, you see what appears to be a draconic face with an elongated draconic body rising up into the air. And immediately as the sun's crest, you see it fully expand and grow in size and width.
Thousands and thousands of feet away.
Is this like lights? Is this like the Aurora Borealis they were talking about?
This creature,
Oh, okay. He's
the
this
opposite of
creature is almost made entirely of shadow.
that in mass.
And you can only see it because the frayed edges of this creature give off like a silvery light, and it crests through the air, and you see what would be to you guys in physical appearance a large dragon get eaten by this large serpentine creature, and its body continues to submerge from the sand, continues.
Hundreds of feet.
As it begins to ribbon through the sky and fly with no wings, you see that it is thousands of feet long. You can tell that Hammerfist is panicked, and he is now moving you closer and closer towards what appears to be just like some mud, broken down shacks hidden within like a bowl of sand. And as you guys discount from the horses, lifts up a hatch of wood from underneath that sand that's large enough, like 10 foot wide, large enough to let horses down, like ushers all of you down there.
Yep.
Get off the road.
You look up once more, and as that creature arcs its way through the sky, you see hundreds of smaller creatures flying off of it, diving into the sand, coming back to it, and then diving into the sand.
Don't like that.
Oh.
Double time, boys and girls. Let's
It is going probably towards where the crinkles are
The
going.
darkest night is upon us. Hurry in, everyone, now.
As he says that, you see it kind of like churn its body over and start heading in the same direction that you guys are.
Oh my
I
god.
help close the gate or hatch. And then
All the horses get in. All you guys are in. As you guys walk in, there is it's a tunnel-like system in diameter, about 20 feet across. It starts at about 10 and then opens up wider. and gets wider, and there are like tunnel-like vein systems that spread out from it, all of which at about a 6-foot hanging length there are small green lamps that light the way. And as you guys walk in, you see about 24 extremely tiny folk, all walking up within the shadows, like green lights reflecting off of shiny burnished metal pieces of their garb. And you hear, Amber, what you doing there, bud? You got a bunch of friends here then?
Aye.
Oi!
These are my companions.
You just barely made it past night.
And I hope we're speaking in Dwarvish.
Yes, you are. Does anyone here understand Dwarvish? JJ, Thalner, and Salva, you understand this.
I walk up to the. Is it a dwarf?
They appear to be gnomes.
I walk up to the gnome and I say, telepathically, "Do not be afraid," and put my hand on their head.
You see one, like the one that you place your hand upon has like a shock of pink hair, almost in a mohawk. Just dirt caked on their face and cracked goggles that they look at you from like purplish eyes from underneath, and they're like, hey, you don't talk in my head like that. That's wild. I don't like that.
It's okay.
No.
I'm gonna go sleep.
I think he's saying it's not okay.
He says out loud, tell your friend not to talk in my brain like that. I don't like that.
Is this Edoron?
Yeah.
Eddie.
Oh, buddy.
Come here.
I knew you would
Thank
find
you. Thank you for taking us in.
I knew that you would find you some people over at Drake Haven. Tell that fucker not to touch me ever again.
He's a good guy.
Telepathically,
good.
where's your bed?
He's a good man. Lacks a little bit of decency, but good man. Like us.
He says out loud, I told him not to talk to me in my brain, and he did it again. I'll let you take him down to the nearest tavern. But
Tavern.
You don't understand it.
it's in Dwarvish. I'll let you take him down to the nearest tavern.
You see me look over at you, but I don't say anything.
In the meantime, I got something special for you. I found a little bit more about Kalor. We'll talk about it later. And he says in common from here, welcome one and all. You have found yourselves in one of the last few refuges of the desert itself. If you go outside, you're probably gonna die. So let that be known here. And in the meantime, if you do anything that pisses us off, and he snaps, and you see like a bunch of like gnomes, and then like farther in the outskirts like dwarves, and then like farther and farther down the outskirts, like there's like a ring of people. They all lift up guns.
Eddie.
Shit, mate, how long did it take you guys to choreograph that? Because I probably got as good a chance of dying in here as I do out there right now.
Roscoe, contain yourself.
There will be no. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so drunk right now.
There will be no need for that.
I look around and I go, do not be afraid, do not be afraid.
There's like a little kid with a pea shooter that shoots you. What's your AC?
18 or 19?
It rolled a 7. It just like shoots this little like snub node pea shooter and like kind of tinks against one of the scales in your body, and it like runs away.
I go, no, my back. It's itchy.
Steve. He's a little rascal. Leon.
Can I sleep on the floor?
Of course. Don't talk to them in their heads. They don't like that kind of stuff.
Oh.
Just saying.
Well, he was speaking a language I didn't know he spoke common, so I just
Understood. Don't let it happen again.
absolutely.
They don't like it.
I don't wanna be rude. I said for them not to be afraid. Is he afraid?
At that moment he was, but I'd let him know.
You're not afraid.
Man, I've never been bigger than someone before. Do you guys have a bar? I'm a little empty.
You hear one of Hammerfist says yes. You hear a couple of the doors be like, I? Like wary looking, like, I?
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I don't know who these guys are, but dwarves, they can drink pretty good.
They're a little bit bigger than me too.
Gnomes? No,
Dwarves.
Gnomes are smaller, dwarves are a little bit bigger.
Right this way, Roscoe. He might make a drunken fool of himself, but that's the worst you have to worry about.
I'm not.
Listen, this is your problem now?
Just saying, how many of us aren't drunken fools here? The tavern.
He like kind of takes out a flask from his pocket. You can see that it's like kind of see-through, and there's a weird like purplish glow to it as he takes a sip.
Mate,
puts
I
it back
want
in
some
his-
of what he's having. What is...
Is your problem now?
I bet he makes a drunken fool of himself a lot.
Count his drunken shenanigans as the ones that I'm not able to have anymore.
No. You're responsible for his drunken shenanigans.
Of course.
And then you're responsible for your own ones on top of that.
I can't drink anymore, you know that.
So as they're talking, I just am like pummeling down the thing. All right, who knows how to slap? And I just kind of go on.
There's like a very dark-skinned, like almost slate gray dwarven man that walks up to you and goes, I ain't played slapsies in 2 decades.
Oh, it's not fair if you're not as drunk as me, so you better catch up.
Who says I ain't as drunk as you?
One hand.
Your blood.
Your blood.
Fair point. You got something I can drink then?
Oh, yeah. Oh, say ah. And I have to get my whole do-si-do, and I just pour and pour and pour.
He drinks it. I'm gonna give him a con check.
I pour way too much. Like, I don't let him breathe.
Okay, so the first one he passes. The first one he passes, he's like, "Whoa, whoa." You're like, how? The second one he hella passes, and then he like kind of pushes you away and takes the barrel. And then
He knows how to breathe.
the last one with 2 2s on the dice. The last one he kind of shakes a little bit, and there's like some. There was like some fermented fruit that was carrying a lot of the alcohol in it that kind of like passes through that, and it gets into his mouth, and he goes.
If you throw up, mate, you lose.
Fuck you! We're playing slapsies.
Now we're talking.
He spits the fruit out, and you guys are playing slapsies.
I mean, you can just...
We're gonna hold that scene. What are the rest of you doing here?
I find a darkish corner or a pile of hay or bed of rock and lay down to take a nappy.
I would like to go up to Jack and say, Jack.
Salvo leans over like,
Jack. I say, Jack, keep an eye on Roscoe. I need to go speak with Eddie.
Hello.
And also,
Is there a monkey?
have a drink. Please.
Appreciate the offer, but
Listen.
can't, religious reasons and all that. Anyway, yeah. So watching.
He's been
Roscoe-
sober. The stack just shows up.
Oh,
He doesn't drink anymore.
I'm sorry. Me too.
hell. Well,
Not by choice.
I'm also sorry. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. But yeah, it does suck sometimes, and I like instinctively reach for my flask that I don't have anymore. Like, damn.
Yeah, as we awkwardly grunt about for a little bit and part our ways, I would like to go have a conversation.
Okay.
Later on.
Slapsies, having a conversation, going to sleep.
In attempting to dream.
Perfect. What are you 3 doing?
I have to babysit.
looking.
Slappy man.
Do they have any sort of commerce set up here?
Commerce?
Yeah.
More or less, as you begin to descend your way into the siege, This reminds you specifically in your studies of an anthill. There is a centralized location that kind of spirals out and makes different eddies and waves of tunnels that doesn't seem to have great logical purpose, but still can find its way back to the center if need be. There is a commerce to your mind, after exploring for about 30 minutes or being instructed by anyone that would ask, you were told there are 2 centers of commerce. There is the bazaar trade, and there is more or less the mechanic's shop.
Okay. I head to the bazaar trade.
Okay, Stella's going to the bazaar trade.
I'm following Roscoe to the tavern and just keeping an eye on him.
Joining Roscoe to the tavern.
Hopefully that they have coffee.
Thelner, what are you doing? At this point, like, Stack has followed Stack has followed JJ and Roscoe to the tavern. And at this point, it's kind of just you and Thea standing there.
Yeah. I would have pretty quickly turned to Thea and been like,
Let's discuss a plan to find Wygroff and move forward with the information we have after we rest.
Certainly. And don't forget, for future reference, it does take a little bit more power than I personally have, though it's not unattainable. I have 2 more scrolls of scrying left.
Okay, I'll think on that information. But we've been up all night fighting a dragon, so I need sleep. I'm sure you need sleep.
I was a little bit more well rested than you guys were, but yes, a nap sounds great, albeit this place does smell kind of musty, but
It makes me think of home.
what?
Just something about being underground like this feels so
Gross.
comforting.
No.
This whole side of the table agrees with that.
Dirt.
Being underground.
Stink.
Caves.
And as you and Thea, more or less like you're kind of following in the wake of Roscoe and JJ, who are heading to this tavern nearby, we will cut over to Hammerfist. Hammerfist.
Aye.
You had said that you will meet up with Eddie. At a certain point when he sees all of your friends kind of like scattering and other people, because the thing is with an Asive is that once you are accepted, you are treated with the utmost hospitality that could be provided here. You see all your friends kind of scatter off, and Eddie, having told you, like, I have work to do, you see him standing by a kind of opalescent stone wall. This wall itself, like, seems extremely solid. You know for a fact that this is one of the secret entrances to one of his laboratories. And as you approach him, just kind of like hanging out, sipping on his flask, he says, "All right, so sounds like you found your warriors, and you're going to be taking back your homelands. How's that going for you?"
Well, like you just said, I've accomplished phase 1.
Sure.
And I want to thank you. This body has done well for me.
Yeah, you've got a couple scratches, couple dings. Looks like it's been doing well then.
That little tiny ding right there.
Right, yeah,
The halfling,
yeah.
he did that. Beat the absolute shit out of him.
Yeah, it's not surprising. It's metal versus bone and all that.
Trust me, I totally noticed your tiny beans.
Yeah, I was like,
Right. Well, so here's the biggest problem, mate. I did this for you. Like I did this because I know you got a spirit of vengeance and everything, and you're trying to take care of whoever it is your homeland was kind of getting screwed by and all that. But don't you think this is kind of what do you call it? A dead man's tale? Ain't you walking into something far worse than if that little guy over there was like one of your ringers you brought in, you did that tiny ding, what do you think he's gonna do to Limrith? Or even worse, in the middle of the night?
I've seen him fight. He's better than he was in that fight. And he was absolutely terrible, but
He's probably drunk.
it's surprisingly enough, he wasn't drunk enough. It's weird, I don't
All right, I'm not
You
gonna
have
ask
to
any
know.
questions. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna ask any questions there, but listen.
glaringly sober, otherwise he might have been a force to be reckoned with.
Sure, but what's the end game? What are you really trying to do here? Limrith is holed up in her fangs and
Well, kill Limrith. Scare her off. Get rid of her. See what's left of my town. Last I saw it, most of it was glass.
yeah, still like that.
You went back?
I was trying to look for. Well, I mean, after you left and head to Drake Cave, I was looking for survivors, or a sign of life, or maybe at best, like some form of trinket of your wife and your kids that I could pass over to you and maybe persuade you not to continue this suicidal path. Found naught, but what I did find was, well, he gets nervous and he kind of taps on the wall behind him, and the door opens and he kind of guides you in.
I'll silently walk in.
You guys walk for a while and he takes you down to one of his smaller labs. Hanging metal pieces of all different various sizes, pieces of scales ripped off of dragons, like metallic scales of very many hues set upon tables, and a lot of them kind of in vats, like melting down into poolish type of metals that can be fused into different tools. And he says, here's the bigger problem, mate. I went down to the pit of glass, and I had a vision. You know, I'm a man of science.
Aye.
It was my best friend and your grandpappy.
It was me and my grandpappy.
No. My best friend and your grand. Pay attention! He raps you on the head.
I thought. Oh, I guess you're
Grimgar! Your grandfather Grimgar! There, I'll put it in layman's terms. I was looking around and saw some spectral thing, and it walked up to me and said, "Oi, I'm trying to mess with your day." And I said, "Oh, I've had too much cactus juice, but problem here is it was actually Grimgar
In a spectral form.
in a spectral form."
Was it a ghost? of him?
Yes, he claims it to be, but the worst part of it says that he didn't want you to pursue vengeance. He said he wants you to go and live your own life outside the desert. He said it ain't worth the death and the toil, and he said that he got so much more living for you.
Well, what about all the other people who will be rid of their families by this menace? Am I to just let it happen?
He kind of shrugs and kind of pulls up his sand gnome goggles, and he says, "We always survive."
I'm done just surviving. I am living my own life.
Right. Well, I more or less told him that you'd say that.
I want to show you something.
What's that?
I manifest my echo of myself.
And then there's an image of yourself kind of standing there next to you.
And I wave at him from my echo.
Eddie at this point more or less just kind of like steps back a little bit and then kind of pulls his goggles back down, looks a little bit closer, and pulls out this small, like, it looks very rickshaw, like junk put together piece of metal. There's a electricity kind of arcing back and forth of it, and it, as he moves it towards him, it kind of changes color and aligns with him, and he says, yep, oh, okay, so, that wasn't my intention?
I know.
Oh dear.
It's obviously, as you see, it is my previous form.
Wait a second. Hold on. And he kind of clicks in this piece of material, and you hear some strange technological sounds coming out of it. And he goes,
Sounds like dialogue.
he goes, oh, well, yep, no, 100% without a doubt. This is some form of echo of draconic magic. That only happens whenever a death of a dragon occurs. Wait, but I gave you this body. You were dead when I found you.
Aye.
He looks at this shadow of you, and he looks back at you and he says, I think there might have been a dragon living in Knell.
There was when I died. Living, I don't know.
No, it had to have been alive. An old enough dragon can create a magical combustion that changes the entire environment around them. Your soul, this is an attachment of your soul. This is an echo of your soul. The only way that I've ever seen that, oh no. He kind of fumbles around in some books and pulls out this old, like, scrolled up script, and he looks at it. Oh. No. Wait a second. Are you feeling bad at all? Are you feeling any sort of strangeness at all? Please be honest with me.
Well, I'm looking at myself while trapped in a metal body, so aside from...
It's not trapped, I gave you another life, but
aside from existential crisis,
any
I feel
evil,
great.
any ill will?
I mean, I have had some desires to murder some people recently, but I think that might be...
Oh, well, that was you before then. But anyways...
That's it too.
This shade or shadow is not you.
It looks like me.
It looks exactly like you, and it obeys your command, it appears like, but I think this is a... He swallows, and there's like this audible, like, gulping sound. I think that this was a piece of the darkest night.
What? Peace? So one of the wormlings.
And as he says that, and you question upon one of the wormlings, I'm gonna go ahead and end session there.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
The darkest.
The darkest.
All right.
It's on the sea.
So
The
I
darkest.
kept wanting to call it the longest night, which is technically also true.
they're both true. The darkest night, the longest
shadowest.
night.
Spookiest night.
That was a very, very
The creepiest crawly.
He's the no-no man.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
Danger noodle.
The oogie boogie.
thank you so much for watching Scales of Fate. We love you very much, and we will see you next Monday. Adios.
Bye.